Well, hello everyone, and welcome to my second book, which I'm trying to read out loud to get better at reading English, using Skyrim, of course. And this book is Thief by Riven. So let's start. If the reader has not yet had the pleasure of reading the first volume in this series on the life of Eslaf Harold Beggar, he should close this book immediately, for I shan't recap. Okay, so we have to read Eslaf Harold. Okay, okay, man. No, get up. Do I have it? I don't have it. Okay. So let's try to read another book. The Cake and the Diamond by Athin Mwendil. I was in the Rat and the Pot, a foreigner corner club in Aldron, talking to my fellow rats when I first saw the woman. Now Breton women are fairly common in the Rat and the Pot. As a breed, they seem inclined to wander far from their perches in high rock. Whole Breton women, however, are not so migratory, and the wizened old lady drew attention to herself, wandering about the room, talking to everyone. Nimloth and Hoydiad were at their usual places drinking the usual stuff. Hoydiad was showing off a prize he had picked up in some illicit manner. A colossal diamond large as a baby's hand and clear as spring water. I was admiring it when I heard the creaking of old bones behind me. "Good day to you, friends," said the old woman. "My name is Abel Credit, and I am in need of financial assistance to facilitate my transportation to Alt Redania. You want to see the temple for charity," said Nimloth curtly. "I am not looking for charity," said Abel. "I'm looking for barter services." "Don't make me sick, old woman," laughed Hoydiat. "Did you say your name was Abel Credite?" I asked. "Are you related to Abel Credite, the High Rock alchemist?" Closely related," she said with a crackle. We are the same person. Perhaps I could prepare you a potion in exchange for gold. I noticed that you have in your possession a very fine diamond. The magical qualities of diamond are boundless. Sorry, old woman, I'm giving it up for magic. It was trouble enough stealing this one," said Odiat. "I've got a fence who will trade it for gold, but your fence will demand a certain percentage, will be not? What if I could give you a potion of invisibility in exchange? In return for that diamond, you could have the means to steal many more. A very fair exchange of services, I would say. It would be, but I have no gold to give you," said Odiat. "I will take what remains of the diamond after I've made the potion," said Abel. "If you took it to the Mages Guild, you'd have to supply all the other ingredients and pay for it as well. But I learned my craft in the wild, where no potion makers existed, dissolve diamonds into dust. When you must do it at all by hand, by simple skill, you are blessed with remnants or those half-filled flagon of wine while I watched her work, splintering the diamond and powdering the pieces required to bulk off the time. Over and over again, she waved her gnarled hands over the gem, intoning ancient enchantments, breaking the facets of the stone into smaller and smaller pieces. Separately, she made pastes of mince bitter green, crushed red bulbs of Del Arco spy, and driblets of Siciliani oil. I finished the wine. Old woman, I finally said with a sigh, how much longer this is going to take? I'm getting tired of watching you work, she said. The Mages Guild has fooled the populace into thinking alchemy is a science, she said, but if you're tired, rest your eyes. My eyes closed, seemingly of their own volition. But there had been something in that wine, something that made me do that, she asked. I think I will make up the potions as cakes. It's much more potent that way. Now tell me, young man, what will your friends do once I give you the potion? Mug you in the streets afterwards to retrieve the rest of the diamond, I said simply. I didn't want to tell her the truth, but there it was. I thought so, but I wanted to be certain. You may open your eyes now. I opened my eyes. Abel had made a small presentation on a wooden platter, 2 small cakes and a silver cutting knife. Pick up the cakes and bring them to the table, said Abel. And don't say anything, except to agree with whatever I say. I did as I was told. It was a curious sensation. I didn't really mind being her puppet. Of course, in retrospect, I resent it, but it seemed perfectly natural at time to obey without question. Abel handed the cakes to Hodiad, and I doubtfully verified that both cakes were made the same way. She suggested that he cut one of the cakes in half, and she would take one piece and he'd take the other, just so he would know that they worked and weren't poisoned. Hodiad thought it was a good idea and used Abel's knife to cut the cake. Abel took the piece of the left and popped into her mouth. Hodiad took the piece to the right and swallowed it more cautiously, because it comes from caution. Abel and all the bags she was carrying vanished from sight almost instantly. Nothing happened to Hodiad. Why did it work for the witch and not for me? Cried Hodiad. Because the diamond dust was only on the left-hand side of the blade, which the old alchemist thought through me. Okay. I felt her control leasing as the distance grew and she burrowed invisibly down the dark Haldron street away from the rat in the pot. We never found Abel credit in the diamond. Rather, she completed her pilgrimage to Haloredania is anyone's guess. The cakes had no effect, except to give Hodiad a bad case of droops that lasted for nearly a week. Okay. Well, this dude got pranked by a witch. Abel, what's her name again? Get to the first page. Abel greeted the cake and the diamond. Well, this is a small story. I found it cool. It's a rather cool story. It reminded me a lot of medieval times, just because you don't have that context of being in Skyrim, like with magic and all that. But I see this situation happen in medieval times, like someone poisoning a cake and giving it to other people to eat, and they die, of course. And tricking someone, like leaving them alone and escaping under some sheets or something like that. But yeah, this is the second video, and thanks for watching. I hope I get better as I keep reading more and more.